Okay, okay. So I can continue. All right. Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. So, like I said the other time, I am Oladayo Oladipupo, and I work with Dune. I use Dune Analytics to analyze crypto data. So, I am a computer engineering graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, and I've been in the crypto space since 2017. Yeah, the early Ethereum days. So that's when I've been in the crypto space. I entered through airdrop, I guess like every other person or a whole lot of people. You can't hear me. Please, can you hear me? I want to be sure people can hear me. Can you hear me, please? Please type in the comment box if you can hear me. Please, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, all right, good. Okay, a recap of the last class. I will not be able to probably provide a recap of the last class because what was treated in the last class was a little bit different. Like the platform was totally different, but I am also going to go through almost similar routes and similar parts too. Yeah, so like I'm saying, I'm going to share a note. I'm going to share a note. This is the note I'll be using throughout this class, and it also contains this slide. So I'll share it in the comment box now for us to use. So let me pin this. Okay, so like I was saying, I've been in the crypto space since 2017. 2017, the early Ethereum bubble thing, and I started my data analytics journey 2020 during COVID, and I signed up on Dune in 2022. Like I was just researching about something. Even recently, I messaged one of the people that I reached out to when I was trying to research about something. So I was just trying to research around something that, oh, I've been in the crypto space for a while. I'm learning data analytics. Is there a way I can match these two together and be able to do something with it? And I found out about Dune, and I think I found out about Flipside Crypto too, but I was much more endeared with Dune. So I signed up on Dune, but when I checked the platform, I could not recognize anything. I could not understand anything. I There was a query I was trying to write then. I just dropped it. You know, when you've tried to read tutorials, you've watched a whole lot of video tutorials over time, and then it got to the point where you need to start practicing, and at that point you don't understand anything again. Yeah, so that was what happened. So I dropped my Dune account, I left it. But sometimes around last year, there was this there was layer zero airdrop. Yes, there was layer zero airdrop. That was my first that was my yes that was my first Dune that was my first Dune Yes, that was my first Dune dashboard. So there was layer zero airdrop claim, and I just felt, okay, why don't I just do a layer zero claim stats? I saw someone do for, I think there was an airdrop before that. So I just checked the person's dashboard and try to read through what the person has written. Before then, I tried to watch different tutorials around how Dune works again, just to refresh my memory. So I just decided that, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to see how this turns out. So this was my first Dune dashboard ever that I tried to lay my hands upon ever. And that was the journey in June. So this was it's a layer zero airdrop, and I found out that this was used a whole lot when they were trying to do the second phase of layer zero claim. And so I did this in June 2024, and that was what launched me into starting out in on Dune Analytics. And by the end of the year, I was able to. So this was my recap for last year. By the end of the year, I was able to create 8 dashboards. I was able to write around 35 queries, and I had around 21,000 views. It's a little bit small, I know, but it's something considering that till June, I was not doing anything on Dune Analytics. I was afraid of trying to do anything. But after that time, I've been able to do like few of these dashboards. I've been able to get people reach out to me that, oh, I need to, even from layer zero airdrop claim alone, I think I got close to like 3 or 4 different gigs that reached out to me that they like what I did there and they want to replicate it. So I'm sharing this story because Whether is still saying you can't hear me, please, the moment you can't hear me, please kindly put it in the chat box, please, so that I don't get lost in what I'm doing. Yeah, so I ended up with 21,000 views at the end of the year, and that was how my journey that was my journey throughout last year on Dune Analytics. So today we are going straight into, so this is the agenda of what we have today. So basically I'll be talking about um SQL and blockchain, how they intersect, some of the key terms you need to know, and how to use Dune, and few practical examples. And we'll also try to maybe be able to try to create one dashboard at least by the end of this class. So I understand that a whole lot of us, we are just beginners or trying to figure out what this is or what this is all about. It is very, very okay and it's fine. You don't really need to know a whole lot of things. But by the time we go through this class, I'm hoping that you'll be able to build up interest or be able to do much more research, because this is just an introductory class, and this is just a class for you to, it's just like a teaser for what you should get related to, or things you should start looking out to. In the notes I shared, you are going to see a whole lot of resources. I've tried to add up as much as possible resources into the notes that I shared. So I'm hoping that those resources would be okay. I didn't approve people viewing. Okay, let me just make it shareable for everybody to be able to view. Okay, anyone that tries to view, I will just accept it. Okay. Yeah, for those that try to view the link that I shared, you can check it now. It is available to view. So basically, I've dropped as much as possible resources that will most likely be useful, and that will be useful over time throughout the course of the class. Before now, I also added a particular, so let me move it to the screen. Okay, no, let me just share this. Okay, so if you check this link, this is what I'm sharing. I'm hoping this is showing on the screen. Yes, okay. If you check other resources, I have a crypto class that I did sometimes 2022 that would most likely be useful for people that are just getting involved in crypto to be able to understand some certain terms. So I'm hoping that resources will also be useful for you to as you go through this class. So I've added as much as possible resources. I've added as much as possible resources for you that will be useful for you to use throughout the course of this class. So yeah, so let's go back. So yeah, so now SQL, for a whole lot of us that how many of us, first of all, how many of us are data analysts, or you've done something, you've written SQL query, you've okay, I'm seeing few show of hands. How many people now? Okay. I can see few show of hands. Okay. Okay. You've written SQL, Python codes, Excel, Google Sheets. You've worked with few APIs. Yeah, excellent. So for those of us that we've worked through some of these things, we understand SQL. SQL is just a structured query language, and is a standard language for checking out database operation, just for trying to query database. When they say query, it's just like you asking a question and you getting answer. Say for example, in this class, I've tried to ask questions and I've gotten responses. So that is basically how SQL works. So you have a database, you have different tables of database, and database is just a collection of information. It's just a collection of data. Say, for example, throughout this class now, I've said a whole lot of things. So, say we want to collect the data about what is the most common words I've used in this class, for example. So, let's say it is recorded, and we probably try to use an AI or an LLM language to try to curate all the words I've said throughout this class and try to pick out the most common words I've used in this class. So that is majorly how querying a data, that is majorly how it works. So through using SQL, you are able to ask questions about a particular database and be able to get certain information or various information depending on what you want at that particular point in time. So some of the basic commands in SQL that you really need to know and that will be very, very useful for you, of course, when you are writing an SQL query, you use a select to know the particular data you want to see. You use from to know the table you want to, like the table you want to get the data from. It's just like when you have different files or different folders and you want to know the actual, maybe you want to get a report from a particular folder. That is what the from is from. And the where is filter, say you want to get the data from a particular date to a particular date. Say, for example, you want to get the data for what happened throughout today, or say for what has happened in the last okay. Say what has happened in the last 30 days, what has happened in the last 20 days, what has happened in the last 5 days, for example, things like that. So that's basically how querying data, that's basically how it works in SQL. I'm trying to approve people that are trying to get the Okay, so that's basically how it works. Then, so where clause is basically a filter in order to be able to, based on a particular condition that you want to use to get those information, say, where clause based on time or where clause based on a particular words. Maybe the actual word you want to get are, maybe you are trying to use a wildcard to get words that starts with W or words that ends with W or words that ends with A, depending on what you want. And group by is aggregating a particular type of data. We are going to see how all of this works by the time we go through the query example, for example. And order by, you use it to sort your data, maybe from descending order or from ascending order, or you want to sort based on a particular group of data at that point in time. And join is just for combining two different data table. Say you have a data sheet that contains the register of people's name. For example, you have their name, you have their location, you have their phone number, for example, and you have another sheet that contains the same person's name and maybe whatever they've bought over a particular period of time, maybe the different stores they've entered into. In order to be able to connect those data together and be able to see a general overview of the two files. I'm using file now so that it will be much more relatable. In order to be able to see a general overview of the two files of the two databases, you use a join clause. You use a join clause to get the two data, whether a left join or a right join, outer join, inner join, or cross join, depending on the one you want to use or the one you need to use at that particular point in time. So that is what join does. Join combines data from multiple tables, and we have our aggregate functions like count, sum, average. Maybe we need to count a particular number. Maybe, for example, we need to count the number of transactions that happened throughout today. For example, you use count. Maybe you want to do a sum up of the total amounts that has been spent throughout today now. It's just basically the same way you work with your Excel or you interact with databases generally. And of course, average, just to get the average. Then we have limits. Limit is just probably to be able to show, maybe I just want to see few data. Maybe I just want to see the first 10 rows or the last 10 rows, as the case may be, or the top 50, the least 50 at different points in time, as the case may be. That's what limit does. Then we have case. Case is a conditional logic. Say you are trying to put a particular condition. So where if so you are trying to say, in case this is the result I'm getting, I want you to label it as this. Say, for example, in case the person is this particular description, then this person is female. Label this person as female. Else, label this person as maybe male or whatever gender are available. So that is what case basically does. Then we have the cast. Cast is just to change a data type. Maybe you want to convert a particular data type from string to numeric or from numeric to string or whatever data type you want to convert it from. So that is basically what the cast That is what the cast the cast function does. Then we have union. Is union is just for combining. Maybe you want to union, or say you want to combine two databases together. You just want all the records in the two databases to be combined together. Then we have distance. Distance is just to get unique value. Say you have a particular data table, or particular data sheet that has different records, that has duplicate records. So in order to be able to get unique records or distinct records that is one of one, then you use distance. So this is like basic fundamental basic queries that you need to understand, or that you most likely be using throughout your Dune Analytics journey. This particular class or particular topic is fixed towards Dune Analytics. So for those that are probably beginners, I think the first thing you most likely need to start up with is probably start up with SQL, or try to understand SQL, at least the basics. At least if you're able to do selects, if you're able to use at least all of these statements, then I mean you are good to go. So far you know how to do this very, very well, then you are good to go. So the next slide. So now we've talked about SQL. Now let's talk about blockchain. So blockchain is just, as the name sounds, it's just a block of chain. Yeah, that is basically what blockchain is. It's just a block of chain. So let's say you line up different blocks, but while you've lined up those different blocks, you want to make sure that those blocks are connected to each other. That is, block A is connected to block B, is connected to block C, is connected to block D. And that is basically how the blockchain works. That is basically the technology behind the blockchain technology. So with the blockchain technology, it works based on blocks, and those blocks are just group of transactions. I think Damilari explained this on Saturday when he was talking about blockchain, if I can remember. So I'm sorry. Yeah, so he explained what blockchain is. He explained this how blocks work. So blocks is basically group of transactions bundled together, and then they are processed at the same time. So in crypto or in blockchain, for example, there are three core components that are basic fundamentals of blockchain technology. And the first one is decentralization, the second one is immutability, and the third one is transparency. So I'm going to explain. So for decentralization, crypto is decentralized, blockchain is decentralized. I'm sorry I'm not using the common term Web3. I'm really not used to that. I think it's the new age crypto guys that formed the whole Web3 um, buzzwords. Before now, it's always blockchain and crypto. I think it was at the advent of 2020 that we started hearing Web3. So blockchain, the crypto technology or the blockchain technology, compared to traditional finance, for example, our banks or different monetary organization now, for example, they are centralized. So, for example, now, if I need to withdraw money from my bank now, for example, I have to go through a particular protocol, which is my banking protocol, and they have to accept my transaction before my transaction go through. They can decide to decline my transaction. They can decide not to let my transaction go through. Like that is, they have a particular governing and central power over my transaction. But that is not so with crypto. With crypto, so far you have your money, you have the wallet you are transacting with, you have the wallet you want to send money to. You can send money at any point in time. There's no blocks, there's nobody controlling how much you send or how less you send. So far you have your wallet and you have enough transaction fee to carry out your transaction. So that is the basic theme of decentralization. That is, anytime, anywhere, at any point in time, you have total control over your money. And also, even within the crypto space, there's centralization. For example, if your money is in Binance, or if your money is in MEX, is in MEX or BitGet or Bybit or any of the different centralized exchange, you really don't have control over your money. Or you might say, but this is crypto. Say, for example, when FTX exchange, for those of us that are probably been in crypto for a while, we should remember FTX. I think that was 2021. For example, when FTX crashed, a whole lot of people, even till now, still have their money there. They could not withdraw the money because the moment the bank run happened, they they switch off withdrawals from exchanges, and a whole lot of people were not able to withdraw their money. And that is more like a team centralization. That is what centralization is about, because they have total control over your money. Say, for example, your private key on your centralized exchange, you don't have access to your private key. You really cannot decide that, okay, this my wallet on Binance. I don't want to use this wallet on Binance. I want to use it in another place. You really cannot do that. But say if you open a decentralized wallet, for example, maybe you open a Phantom wallet or a MetaMask wallet, for example, you can decide to copy your private key and say that, okay, I'm not using it on MetaMask again. I want to use it on Phantom. Or I'm not using it on Phantom again. I want to use it on Soulflare or whatever operator you want to use it. That is the basic theme of of decentralization. So there's no single entity that is controlling your money or that has a control over the network. And then, so the next one is immutability. With immutability, once a transaction is done, you cannot alter it again. Say, for example, if you deposit the money in a bank now, for example, if you transfer your money in a bank, say you transfer it to the wrong account, you can go through a certain process and try to reverse the money, and then the money come back to you. But that is not so in crypto. The moment you press send, and your transaction goes through, that is all. The transaction is done. You cannot call it back again. It is done. You cannot alter it. And that is what immutability, and that's more like the good thing about the blockchain technology. And then the last one is transparency. Blockchain is a public ledger. It's just like a public record. It's a totally public record. You can see records from time immemorial, from when the first block was created. Say, for example, on blockchain, on BTC network, you want to see when the first chain was created, when the first block was created, you can see the transaction. You can look up the transaction. Say if you check through Etherscan, or you check through BTC Explorer, or you check through SoulScan, you can check through different records, different array of records that has happened over time. Anybody, what you just need is probably the transaction hash, which is the transaction ID, or the wallet's address. You can literally check up any details about anybody at any point in time. So that is one thing about crypto. You can see who is sending the money and where the money is going to. For example, if I do a transaction on my banking app now, if I don't tell you, you will not know I send money, and you will not know who I'm sending the money to. But on the blockchain technology, if you go through any of this explorer, you can see when a particular wallet is transacting or sending a particular amount to another wallet, and that is like the beauty of the blockchain technology. So some of the terms you need to get familiar with um, when it comes to analyzing data in the blockchain, you need to know about blocks. Like I explained, blocks is just the group of transactions bundled together by processing a transaction. There's block time. The block time is basically the time that particular block was created. The time that particular block was created. There is hash, and hash is like a unique identifier for a block or a transaction. We are going to see all of this. There's transactions. Transaction is just a record of value. Like when you send something from one person to another, that particular thing is called transaction, and there's always a record of those transactions, which is sometimes recorded in hash. And then we have wallets. Our wallet are just digital address. They are just like your banking address when you have your banking address. And then there's smart contracts. So smart contracts are self-executing in in the blockchain space. Smart contracts can run themselves. That is, they don't need. It's just like an AI agent. I think we are hearing a whole lot of noise. Sorry, we are hearing a whole lot of noise about AI agents in recent days. And so for in crypto, the way it works is that any transaction you run, is there someone trying to ask a question? Help record. I'm not sure the recording is working, but I'm trying to record on my own end, and I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping the recording from my own end works. Anyways, so okay, someone okay. Yeah, so Oh, maximum of 5 guests. Wow, interesting. Let me try to. Please give me a few minutes. I'm trying to share. Let me try to make the the link public. I'm trying to. I'm trying to make the link public. Okay, let me publish it. Yeah. Okay. I think nobody should need. Let me copy the link so that you won't need a link to get invited. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I think you shouldn't need you should not need a link. You shouldn't need to get invites to be able to see the the details now. Yeah, you should not need it. Yeah. So as I was saying, so I was talking about smart contracts. So smart contracts they run autonomously. That is a particular code, a particular instructions are already written in smart contracts for them to go on with. So basically, that is how smart contracts. That is how smart contracts works. So we use smart contracts in creating, for example, we use smart contracts in creating um, tokens. We use smart contracts for different things. So I'm going to share something now. Let me share this tab. So yeah, this is like just to explain this. This is like the history of the web. In Web one, we have only read only. When you are able to read your mail, your Yahoo Mail, your Gmail, and all that is Web one. In Web two, you're able to read and write. We had Facebook. We have some of these social media networks that we have now where you can interact with people, you can read, you can write. But in Web3, you are able to read, you're able to write, and you're also able to execute. That is, you're able to create, for example, what I just explained, you're able to create smart contracts, for example, now. So I just use that to explain smart contract. So in Web3 or in crypto generally, we work with smart contracts, which are self-executing codes that we're able to use to create different tokens, to create different instructions that we use at various levels in the blockchain. So we also have minting. Minting is just like creating, say, minting a new token. Just like for example, you are minting a new Naira note, for example, minting a new token, minting a new non-fungible token, which is an NFT. Yeah. And then there is gas. Just like, for example, there's a transaction fee when you do a transaction from one bank to another, say 15 naira or 20 naira or 50 naira, as the case may be. So that is the same way gas works in crypto. So there's gas fee, a minute fee that is charged on the crypto network in order to allow your transaction to be able to go through. Yeah. So next slide. So now, how do all of these things, how do they intersect? How does data works? Where is the match between data analytics and blockchain? Where is the match? You might be trying to understand. So we've talked about I mean blockchain. We've talked about SQL. Where do we match this thing? Where is the intersection between these two things? So it with data analytics and with blockchain. So before I go on with explaining this, the crypto space, when it comes to data, the I think the I mean, so one of the places where there is an update or there's in real time data for you to use is in the crypto space. Like there's literally data generated at every point in time in the crypto space. As I'm speaking, there are transactions that are going on like already right now. There are transactions going on right now, and that is how it works with crypto space. So the blockchain technology or the blockchain network is one of the network where you can get real time up to date data, and with those data also you can also use it to understand human behavior, how woman thinks. For example, as funny as it is, you can literally understand how women carry out how human being how they do different things that they do, for example, based on their on-chain transaction or whatever they do on chain. Yeah. So where it intersects with the knowledge of blockchain and with data analytics, you're able to know wallet activities. For example, you're able to know how different wallets, how they interact. Say, for example, you want to know when a particular wallet, when they trade the most on chain, then this will help you. You're able to understand their behavior. You're able to understand when they are moving money from one place to another. For example, on Twitter, there's an account called, I think, Whale Alerts. Yes, I think it's Whale Alerts on Twitter. That particular account monitors anytime there's a transaction, that a big transaction. Yes, I think I'm still sharing my screen. Can everybody see my screen, please? Please, I want to know if you, yes, you can see my screen. Okay, I guess it's the problem is from you. Probably you try to reload your network. Yeah. So as I'm saying, so there's a particular account on Twitter called Whale Alert, and what it does is it monitors transactions that happens from time to time. So so what it does is it monitors on chain transactions from one wallet to another wallet, and that is, if those data are not readily available, there's no way to be able to monitor it. And that is the thing too about centralized exchange. For example, on centralized exchange, you cannot know what is happening within Binance, for example. You cannot know what is happening. You cannot know how people, what trade people are taking on Binance or on Bybit. You really cannot know. The only thing you can know is when someone moves money from their wallet, their personal wallet to Binance, or when someone withdraws money from Binance to their personal wallet. So Binance, for example, because it is centralized, just like in banks, you really cannot tell what is happening within it, except for probably Binance executives who most likely have the data and are using it indoor. But that's the beauty of on-chain technology or decentralized finance. With your normal wallets or with your personal wallet, you can literally be able to understand or know what different people are doing on chain. So you're able to monitor or identify whales. Probably you're able to identify people that trade around a particular amount, say people that move around $100,000, or people that move around with 1 million on chain at different points in time. Another thing that this does is this help you tracks token supply. You're able to know the supply of a particular token. You're able to know when large funds are moved from that particular token. Maybe it is moved from one wallet to another wallet. You're also able to probably evaluate that token's utility, the use of that particular token. Then there's also decentralized finance, just like we have in traditional finance, where you're able to borrow loan, you're able to take collateral, you're able to do a whole lot of things in traditional finance, like in our banking system. You can also do the same thing on in crypto. And with data analytics, we're able to monitor that. We're able to know if a particular protocol, if it is growing, if they have a new user today, if they have a new user yesterday, the total number of users they've had over time, maybe throughout this week or throughout this month, total number of users they've had, and all of that. So you're able to know people that probably had collateral, when their loan is expiring, when they are going to probably enter liquidation, all of those details. With data analytics and with the data available on blockchain, you're able to merge it together and be able to get a perfect understanding of that. We are also able to know gas fee analysis. One of the query we are going to run today is around gas fee. So you're able to understand gas fee analysis. That is, you're able to know the gas fee that is being used per time or at this particular point in time. You're also able to monitor when there is congestion in network. Congestion in network, that is when a whole lot of users are trying to, when there's a whole lot of people trying to run transaction at the same time, or when the network is busy, you will have a spike in gas fee. You have a spike in the amount you use to process your transaction, as the case may be. So gas fee, you're able to do a gas fee analysis to know, okay, this is the perfect time for me to run my transaction because gas fee are low around this time, or this is the perfect time for me not to run this transaction because gas fee are high, or this is the amount I need to set because gas fee are high at this particular point in time. Another thing is you're also able to know protocol specific metrics. That is, say you're able to know the amount of tokens that are staked, the number of validators that are participating. All of these are more like crypto terms, I guess. By the time you read in depth or you check through, into crypto, you're able to understand this. But with data analytics with data available on blockchain network, you're able to combine these two together and insert it and be able to have wonderful, wonderful interaction. So with this knowledge, even personally, without even using it externally or trying to run a gig or trying to help anybody, you can literally just use it for personal use. Say you want to just know, okay, how much, for example, now if you have to say if you want to get your banking, so every month or at the end of every month, I think every bank sends the total amount you spent I mean the total amount you spent on total transactions, different transactions that you've run on your like your bank. I've forgotten the actual word now. Your bank details, I mean, your bank transaction, your banking transaction, your banking records at the end of every month. With your understanding of crypto, you can use it on your own wallet, your own personal wallet, whether Ethereum wallet or Solana wallet or whatever the wallet may be. Okay, you're having issues. Okay, I'm going to send the link. You're having issues with the link. Um, This is the class link. You can try to join again. Yeah. So as I was saying that they send your I mean your bank details, your bank transaction at the end of every month. You personally you can decide that okay, I want to check through how much have I spent, how much am I burning on gas fee, for example, on my Ethereum wallet or my Sol. Yes, bank statement. Yes, thank you, bank statement. Yeah. So you can get more like your on-chain bank statement. You can decide to run your on-chain bank statement yourself. That is okay on my Solana wallet. How many coin did I buy? Did I like buy this month? How much did I spend this month on buying this particular coin? How much profit did I make? How much losses did I make? You can use that like with this knowledge and using readily available blockchain data. You can use it for personal use even without trying to try to get a gig. Yeah. So if you have a question, you can drop it when I explain this. When I'm done explaining this, if you have a question, you can just try to drop it in the comment section. Yeah. So now we've talked about SQL, we've talked about blockchain, we've talked about some of the key things you need to know. The next thing is so we have one of the platforms that enables you run this transaction or that enables you be able to query your data and be able to see some of this information or that powers these things is Dune Analytics. On Saturday, we learn about Flipside Crypto. Flipside Crypto also does the same thing. And okay, so Dune Analytics also does something similar. I really don't know which one comes first, which one came into being before the other. I really don't know. Yeah, but Dune Analytics is a web-based platform where you can query public data and be able to aggregate it, and you're able to see a whole lot of different beautiful analytics. For example, I'm just going to show us. So this is Dune. Let me share this tab. This is June, and these are like the different dashboards that we have on June right now. These are the ones that are, let me just go to the most popular. Yeah, so these are, for example, this is a crypto analytics on crypto buy signal. So you have various dashboards on June that you can use, or that you can also decide to use the data and query the data as the case may be, as you want it, at different types of, like a whole lot of different analytics or a whole lot of different dashboards are readily available on Dune, and they support as much as possible blockchain networks. I think this, yes, the ones I know they support Ethereum. We'll try to check some of the blockchains they support. They support Ethereum, Solana, a whole lot of L2 blockchains. I think they support Bitcoin network too. I don't know. So they have the records. They've already, so like Damilare said on Saturday, crypto data are very dirty, and by dirty it means some of those data are mobbled up. It does not mean that there is dirt, but of course in data terms it means it is dirty. So, but Dune or Flipside or some of these platforms, they've been able to arrange and organize all of this data set by set, tables by tables, as they should be. and make them usable for everyone. So they've been able to arrange them so that all of these data are usable for everyone that needs to use them. They make sure that those data are readily usable for them. So Dune gives you tools to analyze cross-chain data for different tokens, wallets, and protocol. And you can also share your work with community and export it. And you can also integrate data on Dune. You can decide to, okay, maybe your blockchain at that particular point in time, their data are not readily available on Dune. You can write to Dune to integrate your blockchain data, as the case may be. So they allows access to multiple blockchain data sets. They have built-in visualization tool, although the visualization tool is not like Tableau where you want to beautify things, or Power BI, but the visualization tool are still usable for you to be able to see or be able to understand what the data is saying. And they have a community-driven query sharing option too, whereby different people can you can share your query. Different people can fork your query. In forking terms, this is a GitHub terms. Forking literally means copying whatever you've written as yours. So when you copy what someone has written or what someone already has, when you copy it, or you copy it into your own repo, or you copy it into your home folder, as the case may be. So that is what query forking literally means. So it has a query editor, and recently they implemented more like a ChatGPT, an AI into their querying system, whereby if you probably had an issue while running your query, it can suggest or help you correct or implement the right things you need to use. And then you can also create custom dashboards. They have base tables, decoded tables, abstraction tables. Like there are also different community created tables, like community created data that are readily available on Dune Analytics. So yeah. So if we have, is there a WhatsApp or Telegram group for this community? Um, I personally don't have a I don't have a community. I don't have a data community, as the case may be. But I think there is analytics. I'm trying to get the name now. Analytics Lab, they have a community. That's Damilare that spoke on Saturday. I'm also on the group. I'm also on Analytics Lab group. So maybe if at any point in time you can also drop question on the community or on the group too. And what they do at Analytics Lab is also very, very nice. Just to people that are trying to learn Web3 data analytics, they try to help people and all of that. So yeah. So if you have question before we move on, if you have question on what I've explained so far, are there things that probably looks a little bit abstract? Okay, while we wait for questions, so we are just going to get into the practice. So I'm going to stop sharing this now, and I'm going to move to sharing Dune. So okay, so I'm sharing this tab instead. So Dune is dun.com. So we are going to the practical side now. So this is Dune. You can create an account, sign in. You can to sign up to create an account on Dune is very, very easy. You just need your email and your email and password. I think that's all that you need. Okay, yeah. You just need to pick a username, your email, and your password to create an account on Dune. Okay, yeah. So let me just log in. Let me sign in. I already have an account, so um, I'm going to use my second account because I want to explain something there. So yeah, so this is Dune, and this is our Dune interface. Anytime by the time you log in into Dune, this is more like what you see. You see trending. This trending are some of the recently created dashboards or dashboard that people are interacting with. Say in the last 4 hours, sorry, in the last 1 hour or in the last 24 hours, these are the dashboards people are interacting with at that particular point in time. So we have like different like various dashboards, a whole lot of dashboards on Dune. So let me just pick one. For example, this is someone I so this is for those of us that are probably in the Solana space, the meme coin craze and all of that. There's something called Pump Fund, and Pump Fund is just like used to create tokens. It's a launchpad for creating tokens on Solana, and this is a dashboard built by Adam. Adam is my boss, so I work with him. So this is a dashboard built by Adam on Pump Fund that literally shows. I'm just trying to show us an overview of some of those things you see on Dune Analytics. So this is the total revenue earned by Pump Fund, and this is it's been displayed. This is the cumulative revenue and the daily revenue. For example, as at yesterday, the daily revenue by Pump Fund was $6 million. As at yesterday, that was and the total revenue, which is cumulative revenue over time, is $389 million. So we're able to see the total number of pump fund tokens that have been created over time, around 5.7 million. And just today alone, we've had like as at the last time of refresh, which was 3 hours ago, we've had we've had 24,000 tokens created. And out of those, in the last 24 hours, we've had 48,000 tokens launched. And the ones that graduated is just 611 that graduated. And a whole lot of different data that you can see. As I said, these are live data. These are things that are happening in real time. So this is more like what a dashboard in Dune looks like. So when you want to start, of course, so this is where you go to the create section where you have new query, new dashboard, upload the data sets. Say you already have your data sets that you want to upload into Dune and use. You want to submit a contract, maybe a contract address, I mean a smart contract rather. You use it, submit a smart contract, and also if you want to use Dune API endpoints, this is API endpoint. But for this class, this is the two things we are bothering ourselves about. So we have a new query. So we want to, so this is what you see. This is the interface you see on Dune. You have where you write your SQL query. And like I said, they have an AI. So if you need to generate or edit a prompt, you have it there. And we have different, so this side are some of the data available on, say for example, you are trying to run a query and you're trying to understand which particular query do you want to use, or you're trying to look out for the actual data sets you want to use on Dune. So this is where you search for that data. Hope I am still audible and live. Oh, you can't see what is being presented. Can everyone see what is being presented, please? I want to be sure we can see what is being presented. Okay, you can see it. Okay, good. All right. Okay, thank you. Please, if at any point you can't see something, either you type it in the message box, or if I'm long gone, you can just unmute your mic so that I'll be able to hear, because I'm not checking the meeting link. Yeah. So as I was saying, so this is what the interface looks like, and this is where you can search. Say for example, if I want to do something on Ethereum, for example, now I'm just going to search Ethereum, and it's going to bring out the data, different databases or different data table that are available for Ethereum, Ethereum transaction, Ethereum traces, Ethereum logs, blocks, creation traces, contracts, all of these different things are the different tables that are available. So say for example, if I select this Ethereum transaction, for example, I'm able to see the details of all the data table that are available on Ethereum transaction. So it means I have and the data table that are available and their data types. So these are their different data types. So if I try to query Ethereum transaction, for example, these are the data types of what we have. So this data explorer helps you, maybe if you get lost at a point in time and you're trying to like find your way around which particular data sets do I need to do something, then you can use this search box. So we have curated data. So this is asset tracking. These are data sets. Say you want to track an asset, for example, you want to track token, you want to track token on Solana, NFT transfer, token transfer, fungible tokens on Solana, all of these things. You want to track prices, day price, hour price, native price. Asset tracking is your bet. Like they've already labeled. So these are already labeled data sets. We have asset tracking, trading data. Maybe you want to get trading data and you can select the chain. So these are all the chains that are supported on Dune. These are all the chains that are supported on Dune. Say for example, the data set I want to use is on Solana. So these are the data sets. These are the trading data sets that are readily available on Dune. By using the Data Explorer, you can search that and be able to use that. So we have labels. These are already labeled accounts, owner details. Let me just go to all chains. So for all chains, contract mapping, labels, different data tables, and we also have so these are like all the readily available data sets and where you can search for them at different points in time, as the case may be. So say for example now, so if you want to, of course, just like I said, if you want to query a data, you start with select. Like I said, it has an autocomplete for SQL queries. So select, so let's just use select or select star from, so let's say for example, let's just check Ethereum. Let's check Ethereum transaction. So from, I'm just going to press this Ethereum transactions. So because these data sets are very large and very huge, when you are starting with them, it is always advisable to use a limit statement. Say limit by 10 or 20, because if you don't limit it, this data will keep running and keep running and might run into error. Almost likely not run because the data are very huge. Imagine trying to run a data set from, I think Ethereum started 2015, trying to curate all the transactions from 2015. That is that is a whole lot of data. So I'm just going to limit the data that we are going to see to 20. And here we have run. So yeah, before I run, so on Dune, they give you something called credits. They give you, because Dune is a premium service, but in order for the community to be able to use it, they have free service for everybody to use. So in free service, you have 2,500 credits in a month. So what does this credit does? So this credit is just like to help your machine. When you want to run a query, you can decide to run it um, with the free engine, query engine, and for free, it means your queries are queries that will not take long, that won't run more than 2 minutes or thereabouts. But if you know that you have queries that will be running more than 2 minutes, then you have to use medium query. Medium query runs faster, but it's going to take, for each query you run, it's going to take 10 credits out of your monthly credits. So that is why we have medium. And if I have, assuming I upgraded my plan and I'm using the premium version, then I'll be able to use the large one. The large one can handle complex workloads, because sometimes if you are trying to query something, it can take, sometimes the query I run sometimes can take maybe like 10 minutes before it gets completed. So if I'm using a larger query size engine, it's going to run it much more faster. So that's basically what this query engine size, that's basically what they are for. So I'm just going to use the simple because what I'm running is very simple. And then you press this run. So here we are. So we are going to see, because we just requested for 10. So we have block time, block number, value, gas limit, gas price, gas used. We have a whole lot of this data from to block hash, data, hash, type, legacy, and the likes. So for example, now this particular data that was gotten is from 2015. 14th August 2015. This was the time the data was recorded. And this is the value of the data. So on June, this particular data is in, I think, is it Gwen or when? But for this, in order to be able to get this actual data value, Now to be able to get this actual data value, you need to use divided by IE18. So let's say if I want to get value, I want to get value, I need to, if I want to get 1E18, if I want to get the actual value of value as value, if I want to get the actual value of value in this, no, it's not going to run since I'm running only one. So let me just, I'm coming. Let me try to check. Let me just do block time. Okay, just give me block time, block time, and value. Okay, so I think this should. Okay, I didn't put a divide. Divided by IE18. Okay, it means probably the last one should even work. Sorry. Okay, let me just leave it at this. Yeah, sorry. So IE18, I just want to show us the value. So this is the actual value. This is I think five. This should be 5 Ethereum. It should be probably 100 Ethereum that was transacted. 20 Ethereum, 109 Ethereum. I'm just using it to explain the value. So the raw value we saw there is, that's not the actual value. So let's just go back to star and then check what this transaction is about. So so we have this transaction, we have this block number, this is the value, this is the gas limit, this is the gas price, and this was the gas that was used. Maximum gas fee, we don't have that. Priority fee, norms from. So the most important thing that we need here, if we need to use this, is probably the gas used, the block time, that is the time the transaction was carried out, the from, that is which wallet it was sent from, then to which wallet was it sent to, the block hash, this is the hash for the block, then the hash, which is the transaction hash. These are more like the core thing I will need. So I'm just going to copy this transaction hash and say if you want to check this particular transaction on chain, like on scanner, on Ethereum scanner. So I'm just going to open an Etherscan. I'm coming. Let me share this. So I'm changing. Okay. So Etherscan, and I've already copied the transaction hash for that transaction. So um, so I'm just going to paste. So what Etherscan does is that it's like a scanner, an Ethereum scanner, to be able to see or view transactions or wallets as the case may be. So yeah, so this is the transaction. This transaction was carried out August 16. So let's check if that record is right here. So August 16. Yep, August 16, 5:46 a.m. So yeah, we can see that 5:46 a.m. and it was sent from this wallet to this wallet. And the value that was transacted then was 37,990 Ethereum. I'm very, very sure that this was not the value as at that time, but this is the current value right now. But I'm very, very sure as at that time, that was not the value. Yep. So Ether price, as at this day that this transaction went through, Ethereum price was $1.37. So one Ethereum was $1.37. So I can imagine this person was probably just transacting like around $50,000 as at 2015. Yeah, and that $50,000 is more like what is now 125 million. Yeah, so this was the Ethereum price as at then. This was the gas limit. So this is like basic query. This is the basic thing that we saw. What we saw here, what we saw here, yeah, this is the record. This is the record here, right here on Etherscan. So, so now let's go. Now we want to do. Now, based on this, now we want to check the number of transactions that we've had, say, in the last 7 days. Now, using our SQL knowledge and using this table that we have. So one of the hack for people that are just getting started, although I don't know if should say you should get used to this or not get used to this, but I use it. I think at this particular age and this particular point in time, AI helps to make our work very, very fast. You literally don't need to understand everything. You just need to understand what you want to do and the result you want to get. For example, now the query I want to write, if I want to write it, I can literally, what I just need to do is copy this basic query, this one for example, and copy it to probably ChatGPT or Cloud AI as the case may be, and copy all of these tables that I have here, this column table that I have here, and copy it and tell it that I want to write a query that is based on this and this and this, and it's most likely going to give you a result that you can bring here to use and see if that result works. That is just like a simple hack for those that are just getting started or those that have gotten to a level and are trying to just work around things. Yeah. So now we want to like do a practical example to do like a transaction count on Ethereum. So we want to know the number of transactions that we've had in the last 7 days. So yeah, so we are still using this from Ethereum transaction. We are using this table. So under this table, we have the block time. So we are going to use this block time. We are going to use the date trunk on block time. For those of us that are familiar with SQL, the date trunk is just to be able to truncate your particular data into maybe day or hour or whatever the case may be. For this day trunk, we want to break our block time into days. We want it to be sequenced into days. We can decide to sequence it into hours too, but for this case, we want to sequence it into dates. And this as alias is just the usual aliasing. So this works as normal SQL query. So this as alias, the date, we want it to write it as date. So we want to check date. Then the next thing is we want to do a count of transactions, count of star, which is everything that we have here. Like we want to do a total count of this and we want it to be transactions. So this is the count of transaction from Ethereum transaction. And since we want it to be the last, we want the record for the last, say, last 7 days. So block time greater than or equals to now minus 7 days interval. Then if I try to run this, this will not run. This will most likely give me an error because there are certain things I have not put in place. Because I have a what's the word now? Because I have an aggregate query, I need to use a group by one. Yes, I'm grouping by dates, and then I want to order it by dates. I want it descending, that is from today. So let me try to run this. So we still have we have an error here. So the error we have here, so it's saying that mismatch of inputs, whatever. I can do this two ways. I can just copy this error code. I can press this fix query. So this fix query costs like 10 credits. What it does is it's going to check the query that has an error. I think I know the error that we have here. I think it's this now. It's going to check the error that we have here and fix it. So fix query, or you can copy this error line, just copy this line and just paste it on that topmost. So it's going to give me, yes, it is that now. So it has given me a new, like, it has given me something to consider. So I guess now is not used in Dune SQL statement, whatever. It uses current timestamp. So accept. So by accepting it, it's going to change the previous query I have is going to change it to this. So block time greater than equals to current timestamp minus in the last 7 days interval, group by one, order by one. So I think if I run this, this should work. Sometimes you run it, it will give another error. You either fix it or paste it here to check the error and the likes. I want to check, is there any question? Okay, no. I did not omit. Okay. Yeah. So this is the number of transactions that we've had on Ethereum chain in the last 7 days. So this we have today alone we've had 967,000 transactions that we've had that run on Ethereum chain today. Yesterday we had 1.2, we had 1.2 and all of that. So it has different tools. So let's say we want to use this as dashboard or we want to visualize this, for example. It has different tools. You can visualize as bar charts, area charts, scatter charts, pie charts, counter, and the likes. So I want to make this looks much more better. You can decide to make it a table. Yeah, so I'm making this a table. It will turn the record into a table. And when you turn it into a table, so there are things here that you can edit, say table title and description of your table, your dates, how you want your dates to align, whether left or right or center, whether you want to hide this particular column. If I'm hiding this column, I no longer have that column again. So these are useful when you want to create a dashboard anyways. Transaction, the format of your transaction, if you want it to be with comma, how many decimal places you want it to be and all of that. So that is what the format does. If you want it to color positive numbers green, or negative numbers red, we'll get to use this. So basically, these are all the transactions in table format. So we want to see this much more better. And when it comes to time series, the best chart to use is a line chart. So these are the only charts that are still available on June right now. Bar charts, area charts, scatter charts, line chart, pie chart, and the like. So we want to use a line chart. So line charts, your X column, what you want to be in your X column, which is dates, and my Y column, I want it to be transaction. If I want it to write the data labels, yep. So this is what I have. So on January 1, I think January 1 is when we had the least transaction. I guess everybody went to rest or something. So on January 1, we only had 195,000 transactions on Ethereum chain. January 2, we had 1.1 million, 1.2, 1.1, 1.7, 1.2, 1.2, and all of that. We still have 961 as at today. As at today. So let's say we want to see the last, say 30 days now, for example. We're just going to change that interval to 30 days and run. So you still have your query results here. Yeah, so this is the different query results for different days. Let me just put it on a line chart. We already have our line charts. Um, the data label, so I need to remove the data label so that it will be much more visible. Yeah, so from this view, I think the highest we've had so far is December 10. That was the peak transaction count when we had 1.3 transaction. And okay, I guess the reason why this is low is it is huge transaction before that particular day. So maybe we don't count 9 as part of the day. So let's just start from 10. So we had 1.3, 1.2, like that. January 1 was actually 1 million. It was not the transaction it was writing the other time. Yeah. So we had 1 million on. Okay. Give me a few minutes. The light just went off. I need to switch the light I'm using, please. Few minutes, please. Okay. Yeah, I'm back. So these are all the transactions that we have on on Ethereum network in the last 30 days by running this query. So you can play around this query as you like. Maybe what you want to get might not be the transaction count, it might be the gas used and all of that. So yeah, so that is the first practice question. So let me move the second practice question. So the second one, we want to check the gas fee. We are still using, okay, so now we want to use check the gas fee that has been used in say the last 7 days or the likes. So say select star. We can decide to use that Ethereum transaction, but there's another table called the gas.fees table. So the first thing when you have a table is just try to check, just do select all and just try to check what the table is about or the columns that you have on that table. In advance, I think the only way you can connect it is maybe by using their API. I don't know if you can connect the data using their API. And if assuming I'm using a premium whatever, if I'm using a premium plan, I can just um export this to a CSV. Or better still, you can just copy all of this data, just copy it once and then paste it on your Excel sheets and try to use it for personal use. So yeah, so this is the gas fee. So this is gas fee by each blockchain. And so this is Arbitrum, this is the block months, block dates, block hash, the gas fee spent, and the likes. So what we want to use here is majorly the day and then the transaction fee, which is the gas fee that was used in USDT. We just want the USDT value. That is what we want. So I want to get each blockchain. I want to know for each blockchain, for each blockchain. So I want to know each blockchain. So I want to know. Okay, okay. Don't let me use data trunk. Let me just know their average spend. So transaction fee. You can see this table. This is the table we are using. Transaction fee USD. So I want to know the average gas fee that was spent. Transaction fee USD as average gas fee, and then I also want to know the maximum gas fee that was spent. So transaction fee USD as max gas fee. So from gas fee, so where let's say I want to know record for yesterday, for example, now where block time is equals to, let me see, is equals to, okay, block date. Don't let me use block time. Block date will be better. Where block date equals to 2025 01. Yesterday was 07. Okay, so okay, I need to use, because I'm using select, so I need to use group by one, group by blockchain. So yep, let me run this. Yeah. Okay. The dates, block dates. Okay. Let me fix this. Okay, it's casting it as that data time. Okay, good. Um, run. So for each blockchain, these are their transaction fee. Okay, yeah, this was the average transaction fee on ZK. The average transaction fee that was spent was $0.1. On Optimism, it was 0. So the highest transaction, the maximum transaction fee that was spent was 7.7 on Zora, Base, Say, all of this chain. If, for example, now, if I want to query, if I want to know which particular transaction has this max gas fee, for example, now, so I want to know the actual transaction that has this max gas fee. So let me check. I want to check the query record for I want to check the query record for the transaction. Let me just limit to 5 transaction ID so that I'll be able to know which actual one. So transaction hash, okay, okay, yeah. So I'm just going to TX hash. So I'm going to include maximum fee and um, transaction hash. Select select max. Select okay, let me see if this will work. Okay, group by 3. Oh, having I think you should be having let me use the AI to convert that. I just want to be able to see the no. This will not work. Let me just reject it. This will not work. But if we don't have enough time, I want to be able to. I would actually need to nest another query to be able to get the actual transaction that has the maximum transaction and be able to get the transaction as for that particular transaction. Anyway, so that is like the second. Sorry, that is the second practice question. You can just play around these questions, maybe based on your SQL knowledge or how far you've come with SQL and be able to like understand and know how all of this works. So, say for example, if you want to represent this on a dashboard, say we want to use a bar chart, for example. So, based on each chain. This is their average transaction, and Ethereum has the highest average transaction. Say we want to know which one has the maximum gas fee. BNB has the maximum gas fee that was spent yesterday. Ethereum has the lowest. What was the person transacting that the person had to use $135,000? Yeah, so BNB has the highest, followed by Solana. Solana had $62,000. $62,000 was transacted on Solana. Like that was the maximum gas fee that was spent in transacting. Yeah. So if you need to use a dashboard, I mean, if I want to turn this into a dashboard now, I will just use this. I'm going to show us how we can turn all of this to dashboard very soon. So that is like the second practice question. Then the third practice question. So let's do something on Solana, the chain I love the most. So Solana, so we are going to use the token on Solana, Solana fungible. This is just to have token records on Solana. Let me limit this to 20 query results. Yeah. So these are the tokens that were created on Solana. So token mint is literally the mint address, the decimal, the time it was created, and token version. I think the core thing you need here is just that is majorly needed here is just token mint, the name and the symbol for Solana fungible anyways. So let's say we want to know the record of the total number of tokens that were created on Solana, say today, count star as tokens created. where yeah, created at where created at is greater than or equals to timestamp today, or maybe okay, let's just use say yesterday, tokens that were created yesterday, oh 07, for example, oh, that were created yesterday. Okay, this is yesterday and today. That are created yesterday and today. Let me just use today then. That are created today. Okay. So we'll see the total number of tokens that have been created on Solana today. Tokens that have been created on Solana today is 51,000 tokens. 51,000 tokens have been created on Solana in the last, like just today. These are the total number of tokens that were created. So if say we want to say maybe we want to know the token address, I think token mint address, if I can remember what I saw the other time. Token mint address, and I think is this symbol or token symbol? Is select, okay, let's see. This is running slow because I'm using a smaller engine. So let me just cancel it and use a faster engine to be able to run it faster. Hope I don't have anybody dropping question. Oh, you are lost. Interesting. The class is recorded, and I think the notes I created can also help you around. So these are the tokens that have been created today on Solana. These are their symbols. If you probably copy all of these to say desk screener now, for example, you'll be able to see all of these records, the record of some of these tokens and the likes. In another table record, there's the table record of the price of some of these tokens. Say you want to know what the price is or what the market cap of these particular tokens are, you can then by that it means you are joining two different tables together in order to be able to get the record. But for this particular table, the record that is much more useful for you or that you will get is the token mint and the symbol and the time it was created. Another, I think Solana, which one is that now? Let me check all the records of Solana. Okay, Data Explorer, Solana. For Solana, I'm trying to see the one that has. Okay, I think Utils, maybe latest transaction or Solana transaction, for example. You'll be able to see the records, who bought this token. Okay, I think Solana transaction, for example, now. Let me use Solana transaction. Let me get the record of star from Solana transaction limits 10. So let's see all the transactions on Solana. Yeah, transactions on Solana, block time, block date, the fee, the block hash, the ID, which is like the transaction ID of the signature, recent block hash. Solana transaction is one of the troublesome data, especially on Dune. It's not even on Dune, like generally to read. It is very, very hard to read transactions on Solana. But anyways, this is like this record. I'm not sure this particular table would help you get your answer, except you know your way. There should be another table. Let me see what account activity has. But anyways, I'm just trying to show us how these tables, how they are. Okay. So address, token mint, transaction ID. This is not what I'm looking for. Okay, I think by the next, let me see what the next, okay, the next step. Before we go to the next step, I think there's one more query. Introduction to data analytics. Okay, yeah. So this is the query I'm looking for. Okay, here. The actual query I'm looking for was Dex Trade, Solana Dex Trade, Solana Dex. Yeah, Dex Trade Solana. Yep. So Solana Dex Trade will show the transactions on Solana, who bought what, and what have you. Solana Dex Trade. Yep. So Solana blockchain trade source from Jupe, token that was bought, symbol of the token that was bought, symbol of the tokens that was sold, the amount of token bought, amount of token sold, token bought address, token sold address, and a whole lot of this information. Transaction ID. So let's copy this transaction ID. So for Solana, Solana scanner is SoulScan. So let me share this tab. SoulScan. I just want to show us the record, that particular record of what we just checked now. I'm hoping that's the right transaction ID. Yep. So this transaction was 1 year ago. Let's check what was the transaction date. The transaction date was yep, December 1, 2023. December 1, 2023. So December 1, 2023, 4.2 Solana was swapped $800. This is the current value. Was swapped for 291 and yep, was swapped for 291. So a whole lot of instruction data, a whole lot of different raw data that on Solana. Solana data can be very, very troublesome to read. Anyways, so this carries every transaction that happens on decentralized exchange in Solana. It carries it. So we're going to use one particular query now. I'm just going to copy the query here and explain. So now, say for example, now if I want to, sorry, copy. So if I want to say, so this particular query, for example, let me delete all these things I have here. This particular query that I just copied, it is from Dex, it's from Dextrade. That is the Dextrade we just checked right now. The transactions that happened on decentralized exchange on Solana that we just checked now. So let me put a comment and check this trade again so that I'll be able to perfectly explain. From No, this thing is not hard. I know for some of us we're already thinking, oh, this I don't think I can get this thing. This thing is hard. No, it is not hard. You just have to probably just sit down with it, try to understand what some of these things are. Especially if you are, I think I made a comment during the class on Saturday that one of the core things that will help you is a very, very solid crypto understanding. If you have a very, very solid crypto understanding, this would really not be a problem for you at all. Yeah. So now this new query that we want to check out. So I want to check token bot means, which is the address of the token bought by a particular Solana wallet, the symbol of the token, the amount of the token that was bought. Here we can see this is token bought, amount of the tokens that were bought, amount in USDT. I just want to know the amount of the tokens that was bought in USDT. I really don't need the amount that was sold. I don't need the amount that was sold. So I need the sum of the amount in USDT as the total USDT block bought and the first time the person bought and the last time the person bought. Let's say the person bought at different points in time. So where the trader ID, trader ID here represents the wallet that bought. So this trader ID, it represents the wallet that is doing the purchase, that is buying or selling as the case may be. So in Dune Analytics, in Dune, there's something called parameter. So with parameter, parameter serves as a placeholder. Say for example now this trade ID, for example, it is trader ID. Trader ID equals to trader ID. That is, with this parameter, it means I am able to enter any wallet address that I want, as the case may be. Maybe as time goes on, you don't want to do maybe a fixed wallet address now. For example, I can change this trade ID to a particular trader, but I don't want to do a fixed one. I want people to be able to enter their trade, their wallet address, and be able to see their record. So that is why I'm using this parameter where trade ID is this and the symbol. So I don't want to get the record of when the person bought Solana, USDT, or USDC. I only want all the tokens that they've bought. So in the last, let's change it to the last 5 days. Let me use the last 5 days. Yeah, let me use the last 5 days. And then I'm grouping it by token mint, which is one, and the symbol two. So if I run this query now, let me run this. Failed. Okay, let me reload this. Let me just copy and reload this query. Let me check. Is there any question? Okay, I'm going to answer questions. We're already getting to the tail end. I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to answer questions. I can see some funny questions already. So okay, let me add a parameter. Parameter. No, let me just create a new. Let me create a new query. Okay. The moment I create this new query, it has created a parameter to enter a default value, which is the wallet address. So this was a particular wallet address that I was practicing with that I copied. So we're just going to copy and paste. If this is public and you input your wallet address, you'll be able to see the records. So I'm just going to run this to see what is particular wallet. Like I said the other time, you're able to get traders' behavior or what they do on chain. So we are going to see what this particular wallet bought in the last 5 days, for example, on chain. So this is what this person bought in the last 5 days. Swamps, these are funny tokens that were bought in the last 5 days, and then the total amount that was bought 631,000. 52,000, 22,000, and the likes. This particular wallet is actually the public wallet of Ansem. For those of us that are familiar with crypto Twitter and the likes, you should know Ansem. So let me, the USDT bot, let me make this with commas. Okay. So, and then let me put a dollar. Okay. So this format makes it much more readable. So this is the amount the person bought in the last 5 days. These are the transactions this particular wallet made in the last 5 days. I can change this wallet address and probably pick another wallet address entirely. Let me look for a wallet address. Coming, I want to look for a wallet address that I can use of what the person purchased in the last, say, five. Okay, let me use this wallet. Okay, this particular wallet address. Paste. When you paste it, of course, it means you have to run because the previous record was for the previous wallet. So this is what the person purchased in the last 5 days. It is still loading. Yeah, so the last thing we'll be doing here is now a dashboard. I'll just run us through creating a dashboard with Dune. So to just like we created a query. So when you create a query, the next thing you want to do after you've created the query is to save the query. Because if you don't save this query, except you have this link, what you have there is already, so this particular wallet, this was what the person bought in the last 5 days and the amount the person spent on buying all of these tokens, for example, in buying all of this. Yeah. So you want to save this. So you save, you give it a name. You can decide to make this query private. And the reason for making it private is you don't want other people to have access to it. Or you can decide to, so one fun, but with the basic, whatever, the basic option, you don't have more than, I think, five, I think, yes, no more than five. Yeah, no more than five or so. So making it private can be useful. For example, there was one dashboard I created last year, and I just found out that someone forked the data and used it as his own dashboard, not only my own. He created every other popular Solana dashboard and pasted it as his own. And it didn't end at that, he was selling the dashboard to people. Yeah, so sometimes you can decide, assuming that query was private, you won't have been able to have access to it. So yeah, so let me walk us through creating a dashboard. This is a particular dashboard I've created before. I'm just going to walk us through how to create a dashboard. So in creating a dashboard, just like you selected create new query, you are just going to select create new dashboard. So if I create new dashboard, you give it a name and then it's going to create a link for it. But I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to edit a dashboard that I've already created. So when you create a dashboard, this is an already created dashboard. You can add first a text widget. Maybe you just want to have a text, my dashboard, and then these are the markdown that are supported on Dune Analytics when you want to. So my dashboard. So hash, it means I'm using heading 2, and then I'm just going to save this. So it has created my dashboard. So you edit it the way you want it. I want it to be in this way, and then move it up. Then maybe you want to add visualizations. You can add visualizations from the queries or the tables that you've created. The other time when we were creating queries, I created few tables. So these are the various tables that were created. So the tables, whether bar charts or um, let me go to let me log out of this account and log into the second one so that I'll be able to explain that very well. So whether you've created bar charts, a counter, as the case may be, you can use that to you can add that to your dashboard. Say the table I created the other time or the bar chart I created the other time, I can add it to my dashboard. So I'm just going to pick um let me pick, okay, so this airdrop claim dashboard now. This was the airdrop claim for Penguin. Yeah, so I'm going to edit this. So in creating this, so this is just the a link to a picture using their markdown. This is a link to a picture using their markdown. This is um this is the text. This is just normal text written, and then you can decide to make your text the size you want your text to be. It has different sizes. So you can decide to just swing the side just to be able to have a particular. So these are counters, all of these things are counters, and they are gotten from a particular query. So I'm going to show us the query that this was gotten from. So let me go to, okay, let me go to this query. Okay, this is the query results. This particular query, it has different cities and the likes. So this is the results, total supply, average TG. So this is a singular query. So with this singular query, you can create something called counter. So you just come here and select counter. So with counter, you are only selecting a singular record. from your query results. So for this, I'm selecting total supply. If what I want is total claim, for example, now I have this counter that has the record of the total claim, then I can now change it. Maybe I want it the prefix to be in dollar, or I want the suffix to be in USD, as the case may be, whatever I want. Then after doing that, um, I want to put a label. The label will be what is underneath. Price something something. Whatever you are putting, that is the label. Whatever decimal place you want it to be, two decimal place, three decimal place, then you have that. So when you are done, you either leave it and go to your dashboard to add it, or you come here and then add to dashboard. So let me add it to the penguin. Sorry, let me add it to the penguin airdrop. So when you select add, it's just going to add it to that particular dashboard. So I'll just go back. If I go back now, that particular record has been added, but the counter will be added at the lowest level. So I need to edit it and fix it to the level of what I want. Maybe I want it to be much more smaller than this. No. Yeah, so I want it to be this level, and then I can now move it to where I want to move it to if I want to move it. So that is basically, so with that also I'm able to add all of this let me delete this, remove this widget. So with that also I'm also able to add all of these charts. So you can have, like, this dashboard was created using three queries. Yes, three different queries. So you can have three different queries written and then use the record from all of those queries into a particular dashboard. What you just need to do is, when you have those records, whether counter or, so this is a bar chart that I got from this query. That I got from this query. This is the bar chart I got from this query. Two bar charts. So after doing this, I added this dashboard. I added it to, after you've done the necessary edits, the X column, Y column, if you want to add an extra column, then the colors of the line that you want. When you are satisfied with what you want, you can now add it to your dashboard. This is that of the pie charts, the labelings, the colors of all of the labels and the likes, and then you can add it to your dashboard. So that is basically how dashboard in Dune Analytics, that is basically how it works. So I am going to, I'm going to, okay, you're not seeing anything. Yes, it is recorded. I'm hoping the record works. It is recorded, and I'm hoping it works. So, so what is now the next thing? What is the next step? Like I said, this is just an introduction and it's really not anything concrete. Yeah. So what is the next step for you to take? The next step for you to take is that you need to start practicing. Some of the queries that I used in the class, they are already in the notes, the Notion notes that I sent. So you can just clear around. You can also check around different tables on you can check around different tables on Dune Analytics and just see what is inside this table. What are the data that what can you do with this data that are on this table. So practice, just select star from this table and make the limit maybe 5 or 10, just to be able to see the records you have on in those table. Then you can probably just shortlist it to, okay, maybe the last 60 days, the last 30 days, all of those small records, just for you to know what is inside it. Like, start as simple and basic as possible. Then when you are done with that, the next thing is you can just pick one project and just try to, like, okay, let me just walk around this particular project. Maybe I want to create a basic, you can start with creating a basic tracker. You want to track, okay, what are the, what, just like for example, the tracker, the token bots of a particular wallet that I did the other time. You can decide just to do it for your own personal wallet. Okay, I want to be able to know how many tokens I'm buying per day, how much I'm spending on chain per day, maybe on Ethereum or Base Network or Solana network, as the case may be, just to try out your daily transaction or whatever, or your daily gas usage or whatever thing you want to do. And another thing is you can also learn by checking other people's work. Some of the dashboard I created it by looking at what other people's did. So this is how you see what they've done. When you go to say discover now, for example, say maybe this let me look for something. Um Let me look for something. Okay, say this Nova. This is created by, I think Nova is a bot, is a token bot. Yes. So say I want to create something similar to this. You can go to this volume. If I select this query, it's going to show, except the person, the query owner, has made this dashboard private. That is when you won't see it, and you see that it is private the moment you try to check it. So with this, you can see the record. You can see, okay, this person is from another query. So it means there is a query leading to this query. So you can just copy this number, and then because I want to see what the initial query, what it contains. So you just copy. Anytime you see from query, whatever, it means that particular from is from a particular initial query. So the from is from this query. From, okay, so the actual from is from Solana, Nova Solana dot dot trade. And I guess these are the records of tokens that were traded on that particular bot. Yep. These were the records of the tokens that were traded in that particular bot. So you can check around what other people are doing and be able to use that to probably have a guess of what you want to create and be able to use it to create your own dashboard or your own query and the likes. And like I said, whatever you want to do, there is always AI or Claude AI. There is one I use that is much more easy now. Um, Cursor, I use Cursor. You can decide to use the premium or the basic version. Just check around what other people are doing, see how they did it, and just try to implement it yourself. And when you implement it yourself, you'll be able to understand new things and be able to like just try around different things of what different people are doing. So look at popular dashboard. You can just look at the same way you do on Tableau when you check what other people have done, you download it and then you probably just reverse engineer and just check what are the parameters or whatever this person has done to this dashboard. So you can also do the same thing on Dune too. And then the next thing is start contributing, join communities. There is Dune Discord. So on Dune Discord, you can use Dune Discord to be able to ask questions. You can ask questions on Dune Discord. If you have a problem with a particular query, the light is, you can switch the lights. It's on your data here. So you can on Join Discord, you can ask questions. You can, if you have a problem with a particular query, you can ask questions. Okay, I'm having this particular problem with this query. How do I go about this? How do I go about that? I'm having a problem. I'm trying to resolve this. If you search also, you also be able to see other questions people have asked on that particular. So if you check the Notion page I shared a whole lot of resources that can help you, people to follow, other resources you can use to learn about this. I've created some resources. I've created people you can follow. I've also dropped my link that you can reach me. You can reach me on Twitter. You can follow me on Dune, LinkedIn, or message me on Telegram, as the case may be at different points in time. So follow people, ask questions. If there's something you are trying to get around that you cannot get around, you can always ask questions. So from this class, I'm expecting us to at least try out some of the things we've learned, and I'll be expecting those that will be able to probably practicalize and probably do a dashboard. I'll be expecting their response probably in my DM in any of my media accounts. So right now, I'm expecting questions. Questions. If you have questions, so this is the question and answer segments. Questions. If you have questions, you can probably raise your hands or type it in the comment section. Okay, so let me just answer the first question I see in this box. Is Dune Analytics a place to practice or you can make money from it as well? So the way Dune works is just like Tableau. Say, for example, if you're asking the question if Tableau or Power BI is a place to practice or you can earn from it. So you can earn from it if you check through the introduction I sent and you go through every of those crypto resources. There's a particular resource, crypto resource that talks about I'm sorry, that talks about how you can earn on Web3. Although the link might be old, maybe it is from 2022 or 2023. I can't remember when I created those data last, but it's pinpoints to how you can earn in Web3. So basically, the way Dune works is that it's like a place to showcase what you can do, the things you can do. Like I have done this, I have done that, just like Tableau, where there is a gallery that shows all of the different projects you've worked on, all of the things you've done or used or done at different points in time. So that's the same way Dune works. So with Dune, you're able to showcase all the records of what you've done. And there is a way to earn, but it's limited. A whole lot of people don't use it. If you go to Dune, let me go to one of these dashboards now. If you go under this dashboard, you should see a mint category. So this mint is sometimes just to help the creator. So say if I mint 11 now, there's a mint fee, how much I'm spending. If I connect my wallet, if I mint this, I'm basically just gifting the creator a small amount. It is very, very minute. So um, it is really not a mechanism for earning per se. It was just to create, maybe for some people they see that okay, maybe your dashboard makes sense and they felt uh, they just felt that okay, let's probably give this particular person money or something or remuneration or reward. They use that means for it, but it's really not a serious thing like that. But basically the way you earn is that you showcase what you can do and different people come and see what you can do. If you go on June Discord, let me quickly just go there. Um Discord. Okay, yeah, if you go on Dune Discord, this particular channel on Dune Discord, the looking for a wizard Discord, it has different people that at different points in time looking to looking for a Dune wizard. They call people that work on Dune wizards. Yeah, Dune wizards. So you can see if you could assist me, okay, I might have a quick gig for you. For example, maybe someone posted something. For example, hello, we are looking for a wizard that can help us do this and this, this and this. If it's something you think you can do, then you immediately reply or send a DM that I can do this. And then the person will most likely, you give the person records, of course, from your, let me increase this so that we can see. Yeah. So from your Dune dashboard that you've shared, which is a record of some of the things you've done over time, they can see that okay, maybe you can handle this, and then they give you the gig, and then yeah, and it varies $100, $200, $1,000, 1 5, depending on what they need you to do or what you are doing or who needs your help at that particular point in time. And like I said on, I think I said this on Saturday that after I created my first dashboard, which was the layer zero dashboard, I had two people contact me on Twitter that oh they love what I did and they needed a private query to be able to get certain things from um, based on layer zero whatever, and I was paid for it. After that, I've gotten someone Adam I talked about. He messaged me on Telegram and he said, "Oh, can we work together?" That he loved what I've done, and he has a whole lot of work on his table and he needs someone that he can just throw the work to that can just help him out and all of that. And I jumped on the meeting and he said, okay, if it's something that I can do, of course, and we've been working since then. I've helped him. I've worked on a particular project already that I've submitted to him this last week. So those are the different ways you can earn from doing this. It's a very, very good way of earning. And this is not the whole thing that's data analytics on blockchain. This is not the whole thing that it encompasses. There are people that they track wallets. They use. If you check the link I sent, there's ACMA that people use to check what people. For example, there's this guy on Twitter. I think Larry talked about it on Saturday. I forgot. Zach. Yes, Zach tracks crypto frauds, people that are doing crypto frauds. So you can decide to just create a niche on your own. Maybe what you want to do is crypto fraud, or you just want to be checking out records of different tokens, what they do, and just post the dashboard. I think Larry does that on Flipside Crypto. So you can check Flipside Crypto, check Dune, and see the one that really works for you, or the one that you think you are much more familiar and much more that you think you can use much more very well, like you can use very well. So if you're in the data space and you are looking for a niche, for example, when I finish learning data, I've been trying to like get around which niche will I work, which niche, because there is a need for you to niche down, because the general data space is so wide and we have a whole lot of people learning data analytics. On my Twitter, I see people writing they are learning data analytics 101 today, which is very, very good, which means the space is very, very what's the word now? A whole lot of people are already in this space. So you need to niche down, whether it is crypto data, whether it is football data. I am passionate about football, so I've done few data too that are related to football. I think the two spaces I'm very, very passionate about, crypto and football. So you can decide to niche down. Your own might be business, your own might be crypto, your own might be football, whatever your niche is, make sure you niche down and just keep learning. Make sure you have a portfolio. The best way when you are learning is to build. Don't wait until, don't say, don't get yourself caught up in the tutorial loop where you keep watching tutorial over and over. If you keep staying in the tutorial loop, you most likely not know anything or learn anything. So when you've learned certain things or know the basics, the best way to learn is to build. By the time you are building, you come across various issues, various problems that will need you to do more research. With more research that you've done, you get to understand it better. And this cuts across anything you are trying to learn. The more you build, you come across problems, you research those problems. When you research those problems, there's no way you forget what you research and get answer for, compared to what you watch in tutorial. What you watch in tutorial, you might easily forget them. But the moment you've built with it, you can always go back to it and also document, post on Twitter, post on LinkedIn, whatever you are learning, write content on whatever you are learning, do a video content. You can decide to be doing a vlog, a video content on Dune Analytics, for example, and post on YouTube. And before you know it, you see people contacting you that, oh, or your own can just be checking different people's dashboard and doing a content on people's dashboard. Maybe what is popular, maybe there's an airdrop. The moment there's an airdrop, you are very sure that someone will create a dashboard. You can just pick that dashboard and then do a video content, post on YouTube. Before you know it, you start seeing people. So there are a whole lot of opportunity. You might really not be a data analyst. I mean, a data analyst, a crypto data analyst. You can be a content creator and write content around the dashboard that you have on June. A video content, a text content that people would, over time, when they see that this is what you do, you find out that people will message you and be like, okay, we have a dashboard that we want exposure for, and we need you to write content for it. So it does not end at analyzing data or being an on-chain data, but it starts from there. Thank you. So if you have any question, yes, I am recording this and I'm hoping that it records. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You can ask your question. You can unmute your mic, Sulaiman, please. Yeah. Yeah, it can be very, very, yeah, it can be tough. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so like I said the other time, you need to know what you want to do. So if I want to say, okay, I want to check wallets, for example now. So let me just go to Dune. So if what I want to do is wallets, so the first thing I will do, because the record I want is wallet, I'll just search for any wallet first thing, search for wallets. So for example, I have a Solana Alpha wallet. So I'll just search for wallets, any dashboard on wallets that had already been created over time. Then I'll try to see if that query is public, if it's made public. This, for example, this is private, so I can't see what is in there. So it means I will have to do another search to. So let me just check wallets, and then let me just check all the. So these are all the things Solana wallet performance. So by the time you check different various what's the word now? This one is public. So from this now, the first thing I want to check out is from. This is the only thing I'm concerned about. From this from, if I copy it, I will now go to my I'll go to my create and then do the select star limit. I mean from this Solana trades and do a limit. And from there, I'll be able to see what is possible from that. That is, I'll be able to see the tables. Select from limits. This is what I did the other time. So I'll be able to see the tables that are available. So these are the tables that are available. Then I'll be able to pinpoint, okay, what are the tables that I think are useful, will be useful for me, that I can use for what I need it to do. So I'll write it down and draft it. Okay, this particular table, I can get this from this table. Maybe what you want to do, this does not satisfy it. Then you do another search to check until you're able to get, okay, maybe you now have two or three different tables that can help you out in what you want to do. Then you can use your join to combine the data from one table to another and be able to get what you want to get. But I can assure you that whatever you are trying to do, one person has already tried to work on it or something similar. Then you can check the person's dashboard and then be able to use that person's dashboard to create what you want to create. Yeah, Damilari is asking a question, or maybe he wants to contribute. Yeah, Damilari, thank you very much. Yeah. Solana, yeah, on Explorer, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, thank you, Damilare. So, Sulaimon, am I able to answer your question on searching tables? So you can just go through that to search um, the tables you want. S- You can just use that to search the tables you want, or you can just go to Dune Discord and say that you are trying to do this. Which table records are you going to get this particular thing? And you're hopefully someone will be able to respond to you. Yeah, I will try to drop the link, the record link. So if you need the record link, I'm going to ask if Leon, if he recorded this class. If he did, if he was not able to record this class, I try to do a record, but I'm not sure if it's going to be clear. Maybe when I'm done, I'll check it to see if it is clear. So if it is clear, I would upload it on a Google Drive and find a way to just follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter so that my Twitter account is on my social network majorly at Oladiayo. Just look for Oladiayo and then you can follow me on June 2 or favorite everything I've done, every of my dashboard on June 2. So you can just follow me on Twitter and maybe I'll post it publicly or you can ask in my DM so that I can give you the link. I'll try to upload it to to a Google Drive so that you can get the recording. So I'll be expecting. So if you have questions, you can drop it. We have less than 6 minutes. Okay, I should type my Twitter and do Oladiayo. It's on the screen. It's on the screen for those that want to go to X right now. At Oladiayo. Yeah, so you can just follow me on Twitter. Let's connect. Although most likely, what you will most likely see on on my Twitter account will most likely be maybe something around football banter. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to write a whole lot of things around data this year. I'm trying to change and be more data focused. so so yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to see how much I can put out as much as possible data classes or data. I like teaching. I like having classes. I've done various crypto classes over time, but I think over time they are just been work and they are just been work and because crypto went through a downtrend, so I decided not to be taking crypto classes again. My last crypto class was paid, so after that, market went down. So I was trying not to. I don't like when people lose money. So I tried to. If I'm the one losing the money myself, it's all good. And fun fact about me with crypto is I've really not used my money to buy any crypto. I majorly withdraw from crypto. I do not. I don't deposit on crypto. So it's a wonderful space. You would find something doing. I've been in the crypto space since 2017. Airdrops, like early airdrop days, not even the airdrop we have now. The airdrop days where you just have to fill a form and you have airdrops already, $200 here, $500 here and there, and all of that. At the point I was community manager, written content, all of those things. So yeah, so in the crypto space, there are a whole lot of if you are just ready to the core thing you need is just be ready to find out information yourself. Don't wait for one idolo or one person. Of course, people do paid class. I am not the person. I really don't. People force me to do paid class because I don't, and I understand why people do paid class because a whole lot of people don't value what they get for free. So I get that, but there are a whole lot of information littered across the internet. The only thing is be ready to search, be able to make research, and it does not come easily. You would work. So nothing. There's no easy way. Don't think that okay because it is very no. It's not easy, but of course it is easy because by the time you put in hard work and you work and you probably build project or whatever it is easy. You can also message me on WhatsApp. I think my WhatsApp is a bit public. I don't know. So far, you are not asking me for money because I don't have that money. So you can. I'm going to drop my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is quite private, public. So you can message me if you need to message me publicly. You can also join Analyst Lab. On Analyst Lab, I'm also on Analyst Lab community, and they also have class. They also have data analytics class. I think continuous data analytics class. So you can always join it to ask questions around. I think that should be our small community for data for Web3 data analytics. So if you have different Web3 data analytics questions, just join the community, ask questions. Hopefully, someone will be able to answer you, whether it's on Flip or it's on Dune, will be able to answer you. Yeah. So, any other question? 3 more minutes. If you have question, the slide is in. I made sure that the slide is in that Notion. So if you check through the Notion board, you would see the slide. You see every information, at least the core basic information that you need to know. If you have question. Okay, so if there's no other question, I think we can call it a day. So I would be waiting for your feedback. I want you guys to tweet about this class, and also I want you to thank Leon for organizing this. I messaged him. I would have even done this earlier. I messaged him when I saw his tweets about Web3, and I saw how a whole lot of people were asking different questions. And I felt, okay, I think this is something other people can benefit from. So um, when you tweet, make sure you mention Leon in your tweets, mention Damilare or Analytics Lab 2 in your tweets. And yeah, so I think that's all for this class. If you have any question, you can privately message me through any of the mediums that I've dropped. I'll be expecting your dashboard. I'm waiting for probably the first 5 people that will create a dashboard or create something with June and will send to me. I'm waiting for the first 5 people. So if you've done that, not the OG analyst, please. I'm looking for the beginners that you just get started and you are trying to you try your hands on some of the things we discussed in this class and make a proper dashboard with it. I'll be waiting for your dashboard link. So thank you everyone for joining this class. This is where we are going to call it a quit. Thank you for everyone that joined. Thank you to the organizer. I'm not sure Leon is still on this call. He's no longer on this call. So thanks to the organizer for creating this space. I'll be seeing you all on Twitter or in the public space. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.